Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and this video is all about my WIPs, my works in progress, what I've got going on. You're like, what are you doing with this one? What are you doing with that one? I'm here to show you, so stay tuned. We're going to take a look. Whoa! Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been busy. Let me tell you, one of the good things about having COVID is it forces you just to sit down and do nothing. And I binge watch TV and I crochet. I got some granny square blankets for our project Welcome Home. We got a lot of those guys done. And I got like 4 projects on the go. So I wanted to just spend a little bit of time with you today and show you the different projects that I have going on. So first of all, y'all are going, okay, that pink thing. All right. So for those of you that maybe are just joining in, you're like, what is this pink thing that you're doing? I'm going to see Pink in concert September 11th here in San Diego. And I am a huge fan. And I have never been able to see her in concert. I've tried twice. This is the thrice time. Third time is a charm. The first 2 times didn't work out. The concert was canceled and something else happened. So very excited to see her. I decided, because you know I'm a creative cuckoo person like that, I wanted to make a dress, a whole thing to honor her. So I found this pattern on Hobie and I made this dress. And you guys were like, I love that. And I did too. So let me pull out my other projects and show you my dress. So I tried it on in the recent video. This is the dress that I made and I'm loving it. And I use this ombre yarn by Hobie and it's called Twister's Glitter. And the color I used, I think, was called Orchid. They had in all different shades and it has a little bit of glitter going on in there, but it was this beautiful shade of pink. And it started out kind of a light, almost a lilac-y mauve. And as you can see, the color transitions all the way down to this beautiful kind of purple here at the bottom. It was a really, really simple pattern. I wanted something simple because of what I was doing in the middle. So this is a dress pattern that I made. I didn't end up putting the slit in it. I didn't need to. That was fine. But that's the pattern. And this is how it came out. And I love it. I actually really love the dress anyways. In other words, would I wear this without the applique on it? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to lightly apply the applique. Let me show you the applique. Y'all are like, there ain't no way you're gonna, well, you guys are pretty positive and encouraging. Totally. My mom was like, I don't know if you're gonna do that. You should just get something else. So just in case, I got these guys, which I loved. I got them on Amazon and they came in a pack of 3. So there's the red one, I got the silver one, and I got the pink one. I thought, worst case scenario, if what I'm trying to do doesn't work out, I got this guy, and then what I would do is just slap this on the front. But honestly, oops, well, it goes this way because that's upside down. I don't think I need to do that. And I think it's going to make it look a little tchotchke personally. So I'm not going to do this. But what I did do, I think they're fun, you know, if you're going to a concert or something. So I did buy some just regular like ribbed tank tops, and I'll probably attach these to them, you know, just to make it fun or whatever. So I said that I was originally going to crochet a picture of Pink. This picture specifically, which is really looking worn, this guy. And I'm going to applique this onto the front of the dress. Now I was going to do crochet. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to be. So then I started thinking, ooh, I'm going to do this punch embroidery thing like they have, you know, and I saw it all over Pinterest and YouTube and people were like, it's so easy, it's so simple. Not so easy, not so simple. You really have to have the right kind of what they call monk's cloth. With the holes can't be too big. You got to have the right size punch needle. You got to have the right size yarn. And my goofy little brain did not have the capacity to have that big of a learning curve to figure all that out. So I'm like, all right. Now I'm going to tell you, I am not an embroiderer. I embroidered when I was like in brownies. I learned how to do it when I was like 5 and 6, but I've decided that is what I'm going to be doing. So let me show you the pattern. I took this and I bought some tracing paper and I have some monk's cloth with very, very small holes, as you can see here. And I traced it onto this piece. So you can see the head starts up here, right? And then I decided to go to town, and I have been dabbling with, do I crochet this? So I'm kind of doing a mixture of both. I decided that I liked the embroidery. These are the bubbles, and I am doing just a plain old French knot embroidery. I like the letters. I'm going to go over and do a little bit more in the silver because you can't see it up, but if you get really close, it just looks a little, I'm going to add some more silver and glitter that goes inside here. And then I'm working up on her head, on the hair up in here. It's coming along though. What do you guys think? So this, right? This is going to be when it's all done. And the body, the face, I'm like, ugh. I'm going to cut it out, but give it like a border, right? And then I think what I'm going to do, because it's got all this stuff going here along the backside, I might apply like a piece of kind of some fabric or iron transfer kind of fabric, like a heat seal, heat transfer fabric. And I'm going to cut it out so that what's going to happen is, I'm going to just basically cut around. So there's only going to be the design and then a little bit like probably in the center. I don't see how I can get that part out in the middle, and I don't want to go that crazy. So it's going to be kind of like around her head up in here and then all down in here. And then I'm going to apply it to the dress. Crazy, right? I don't know, crazy or super creative. I don't know, but I'm liking it. I really am. The Brett's going, you're spending so much time on it. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of the fun of it, you know? I'm just doing the whole creative. I'm trying to like, can I do this? Can I make this happen? But I think so. And I think when it's going to be on top of this, it's going to be freaking awesome. Now, I'm going to do a very light slip stitch to this dress. In other words, I don't think I want this to be a permanent fixture on this dress. What I think I might end up doing is like putting it on a really nice, like a white t-shirt, or maybe a really nice white tank top that I can wear around, something like that. I mean, I could put it in a frame, put it up on the wall, but I'm going to like it so much that I think I'm going to probably like maybe put it on and I could wear it with like a black leather jacket or something like that if we go out somewhere. But I don't know that I want to keep it attached to the dress. Maybe we're like, that's a really good idea not to keep it attached to the dress. The dress is really pretty on and it's very figure fitting, but it's really comfortable. I love the yarn that I chose. It kind of has a really heavy drape to it, which this is going to need, because by the time this is all done, it's going to be a little heavy, but I hope you guys like, do you like the bubbles? So this one here is a French knot. Now this one here was a crocheted, and you can see here, I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. So I'm actually in the process of adding those French knots over to this and kind of covering up that pink spot right there. The yarns that I have, this one is a winner. This is the one I'm doing the outline for and all of the French knots. So this one was a winner. This one is, I got all of these from Hobie, by the way. This one here is what I used for the silver, and that was a winner as well. Okay, it's got the pretty little glitters going in it, and you can see everything had to have shimmer and glitter in it. Everything did. So this one, these two are big winners right now for me. On her body, I'm not really sure. I'm using this, but I don't know if I'm really happy with this. I did have this one picked out, but I don't know that it goes with this, and I think it's too thick. I'm not really feeling this. I haven't tried it yet, but I think it's going to be a little too thick. So kind of on the fence of this one. I'm not sure where I've got going with the skin just yet. I had this in my stash. So this has got some pretty glitters going on in it, and I don't know, I might end up needing this somewhere. There we go. I had this in my stash, so I put that in there. I don't think I'm going to use it. This is a LionBrand, but I don't know. You know, I'm kind of like sort of destashing, finding stuff. This guy here, no bueno. I love it, but it is so thin. Can you even see that? It is such a bugger to work with. Such a bugger. I mean, even threading it and then it gets it is just a bugger. So the only thing I could possibly do is like double strand it with something, but it might just be too fiddly to work with. So I'm not working so well with that one. I like this. but I'm liking it in the pale pink. And I don't know, oops, what happened here? And I don't know that this hot pink is a little bit too much going on with this. So I like it, but I'm not sure that it's going to end up being in the final product. Let's see. Then I've got this guy, which was in my stash. Once again, I think it's, even though it's a weight of a 2, so that probably is this one as well, maybe. It just feels too thick. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Now this, I'm liking this. This one here is the same weight. I made the dress in a test pattern using this yarn, which I said I absolutely hated this yarn. Still hate it. I will finish the dress because I don't like to have anything unfinished. It's just way too fuzzy. Fuzzy. It's going to pill. It's just not going to be a good garment. And this was the yarn that they recommended for this pattern. So if you can look at that, this pattern here. That yarn is this, but I got this. This is a rose gold or rose pearly gold, and this was like a gunmetal gray. So I love you, Hobie. I really do, but I would not have chosen that yarn for anyway. So this is this as well. Might be too thick. However, I think I was smart. I got it in a thinner yarn. And I just had a thought. Anyways, this might be good for the hair. I'm thinking this might be good for her hair. And then what I could do is like contrast in this to make it like the little curls, the swirly parts, you know, throughout the hair. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out, but this might be the color that I use for the hair, and it's thinner. So I'm going with this in this color, but a thinner gauge. What else did I get? Oh, I forgot that I got this. Okay, so this is the same yarn, but in this thicker gauge. I'm wondering if I get this in a thinner gauge, in this gauge here, if that would work for the face. It might. It just might. If I had it in the thinner yarn. Oh. Still have time to get this. This might actually work. So stay tuned on this one, because that could be a nice face with not quite as much fuzz, but a little thinner. All right. Keep that thought going, people. Then I also got this, which is the same as this, but in the white with the little sequins in it. And I thought, you know, if I need white somewhere, I could use it on the bubbles. I could use it, you know, just somewhere else here or there. Not really sure. I might actually be able to use this as a ridge around the edges and kind of, I don't know. This is probably the biggest brain-blowing work in progress that I've ever done. But I'm liking what I've done. I'm really enjoying what I've done so far. And then the last thing that I had in my stash is this guy, which I might end up using for like her eyes or something. I got to put something in the eyes because she's got some darkness going on in the eyes, if you guys can see that. And I was even wondering, gosh, why couldn't I just use actual blush and eyeshadow and just kind of add the shadowing that way? I don't know. No reason why I can't, really. The bubbles, my bubbles are a lot pinker than these bubbles. But I'm okay with that. I mean, it's pink. And it's whatever I want it to be, right? I mean, I could have done the white with the little pink rims around it. Not sure. This white, this stuff ain't no bueno to work with, by the way. It's kind of a bummer to work with, but it could be pretty. Maybe I'll do a bubble with it and then take a look and see. Anyways, okay. So that's the big project. All right. So we're just going to keep on keeping on with that one. And this was something I had in my stash as well that I thought maybe it'd work with the silver, but it's not gonna. So I'm going to put that one aside. All right, so I'm going to put those aside. Just keep on keeping on, people. That's what I say. Just keep on keeping on. All right, but it will be done in time for the concert. Now, shoes. I got I know it's going to seem a little crazy. I bought a pair of pink, not hot pink, pale pink Doc Marten boots. Those high top boots, you know, the lace ups. Because I'm just going to be so like rocker chick. And we'll see if they work. But I'm also going to a concert and I'm going to be standing and a lot probably. And I don't know. So anyways. All right. So that's what I got going on here. This beauty right here, Janine, I'm going to say Myska. I love her books. Isn't she, first of all, I mean, isn't she beautiful? She's gorgeous, right? And I love her patterns. This is her first book, Modern Crocheted Sweaters. Her patterns are beautiful. Like you would put these on and you'd think, you know, like I love her style. Love her style. So I've been a big fan. Like that's adorable. Been a big fan of hers for a really long time. Got the book, follow her website, whatever. And even like that's really pretty, like a really pretty cape. Just love her stuff. Well, followed her website and she put out that she was looking for testers for her new book. And I was like, okay. So I applied and I got chosen and I was very excited. So I have to show you what I'm working on. I actually got chosen to try 2 of her patterns. One of them I haven't tried yet. Let me show you what I'm doing right now though. Pull out my other stuff. Okay. And this is perfect. Now you might recall a while back, I was making a shirt for my son that had the green and the cream stripes, and it was a Bodum shirt, and it was like, this shirt's like $500. Can I make it for less? And I was going to make a matching shirt out of filet crochet for my son's girlfriend. You're like, where's that shirt? Well, you know, other things, granny squares and pink and other things started coming in, and I got kind of pushed to the back. Well, Janine put out a call for testers to try a pattern that she is putting in her new book that's coming out in the spring of 2025, I believe. And it's called the Coachella Valley Button Up. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, my son's girlfriend would love this shirt. So I applied and I got it. So I am making this shirt for her. And I think she's going to love it. It looks like this. It's adorable. So it's this guy right here. Okay. And it's got this beautiful, here's some other pictures of it, right? It's long, and then it's got the button up in the front. So it's the look that she's wanting. And it kind of has that filet crochet look because it's got the eyelet stitch. So I was super thrilled when I got chosen. So I'm working on that, and I'll, oops. Whoops, I hit myself. Let me show you what I'm using this yarn. What I'm using is, now she used the Happy Place yarn from Hobie by Tony Lipsy, which I do have some. I didn't have enough of the color that she was calling for, but she said you can also use, it was like a cotton and wool blend, I believe is what she was using. But, you know, as a tester, it was a 50%, yeah, it's 50-50 cotton and superwash wool, and she's using the Hobie Happy Place Solid in colorway Almond. Or you can use anything you want. Well, I had this Fiber Natural Radiant Cotton, which is what I had gotten for this jacket that I was going to be doing. And it's same color. This is the color she wanted. And I thought, well, why couldn't I do this, right? I am using this Fiber Natural Radiant Cotton, which is what I ordered to do the sweater. It's 100% Egyptian cotton. So it's got this really pretty sheen to it. Which is it's gonna give it that really nice drape. This is what what she and my son wanted for their sweaters. And so I'm like, okay, so I finished the back. This is the back side that I have now finished. Yeah, I love it. And I blocked this. It's got some beautiful drape, doesn't it? And it is such a simple pattern. It's really just, it's a 3 repeat pattern of rows of double crochets and then an eyelet stitch all the way along. And her patterns are written so well. They totally make sense, really easy to understand. So this is the back. And then I started on the side yesterday. So it works out pretty fast. So this is one of the side panels. And this is the underarm part here. And then it goes up the side. Isn't that pretty? So This side is almost done. Then I have to make a mirrored side of it. And then I'd have to do the collar and the sleeves. So it's working out pretty fast. I started this about a week ago, week and a half ago, week ago. Yeah. And so this in joining in, or in association, what's the word I'm looking for? In accordance with, in conjunction with, in addition to all the other projects that I'm doing, it's working it's working up really fast. But so this is going to be done for my son's girlfriend. So I'm doing, and you know what? And I can do other sweaters for her, but this one came up and I was like, I actually really like it, just with jeans or something. It's going to be adorable. So I will give you more details when this book comes out. It's not going to be, obviously it's going to be her second book. This was her first one that came out. But if you haven't done any of her patterns, she's on Ravelry. She's on Instagram. She does a lot with like LionBrand. She just, and she's so beautiful. Is she not just freaking gorgeous? Beautiful, super talented, like even like that. So I'm very excited to get her next book. And then to finish this guy. So I'm working on this. Then I had applied to do another one of her patterns. And I just got approved like a day or two ago for the Ruffle bralette. And I'm like, I don't know, am I too old to be wearing a bralette? Well, see, we're going to give it a go. See, we're going to give it a look. See, it's going to wear, maybe I'll just end up giving it to somebody. But it looks like this. So it's kind of pretty. And with the construction, with the yarn that you use, it actually has enough support. And she was saying how underneath it actually gives support underneath as well. So, good on you. And then she does it also in the stripes. This one here, I think she's using We Are Knitters in the cotton colorways. 100% cotton. So I could use this if I wanted to. Again, I have this in a couple different colors. And I do love the way I love the way it works up. It doesn't split. It's not super fuzzy. And it's going to wash really well, and it's just going to wear really well. So it might end up being that I use that same yarn for this. Not sure. We shall see. Okay, so that one's done. And then the last thing I'm doing between all of the granny squares and everything else is when we were traveling, we went to all over the UK, as you know, and we ended up going to the Burton on the Water, the yarn basket, to see if there was any granny squares, and there wasn't, but, I had to buy some yarn, and what I bought, I loved, and I showed it in the video that I did when we were in the Cotswolds. What I got was 2 skeins of this yarn, and it was called, Cotswolds. I think it was called the Cotswolds. Okay. Actually, there's got to be a little tag in here somewhere in one of these. I think I put them in here. Hold the phone. Yes, I did. It's called Cotswolds Hand Dyed. And so I got the 2 colors of the 2 Cotswold villages that we went to that spoke to me. The first one was called the Venice of the Cotswolds, which is these blues and greens. It's beautiful. It's this guy right here. Okay, loved these colors. It's a sock weight. It is probably 100% merino with a little bit of polyamide. Let me see. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon for the stretchy for the socks, but I'm not putting this in my shoes. And the other color I got was called Stow on the Wold. Okay, and this one, there's a tree there. It's an old yew tree that actually grew around a church door. And supposedly J.R. Tolkien took inspiration from this tree for his book Doors of Durin, and so it's a huge Instagram-y spot. Anyway, so these 2 villages spoke to me, and I got the 2 yarns, and I thought, all right, I'm gonna make and this is knitting. I am knitting. I decided to pick this pattern here, and it's super simple. It's like a 37 stitch, I think it's like 37 stitches across. And it's just a yarn over, and I'm not that great of a knitter. I'm definitely better in crochet. But I thought, you know what? It's pretty. I love the variegation. I'm going to give this a try. And what they recommended was a 100-gram ball, which is what I had. But you split it into 2 50-gram balls. And then what you do is you kind of knit it so that they come together, so they kind of meet in the middle. And I thought, oh, this is great. So I took the 200-gram balls that I had, and I split them into 2 50-gram balls apiece. So I had 4 50-gram balls. so 2 of each color, right? And I'm using 2 of the 50-gram balls to make the scarf. And here you can see it here. Love how it's coming through. Now this is the Venice on the Venice of the Cotswolds, I think it is. Isn't that beautiful? And then what I'm going to do when I finish up this ball, so basically you just stitch all the way across. Then I'm going to stitch the second half in this color. And they go together so well. I'm loving how these guys are coming together. This one, because I'm kind of a goof, it takes a lot more concentration for me just to remember the pattern. And I don't want to screw it up because I'm actually doing it right. And I think it's so pretty and I don't want to screw it up. So I'm going very, very carefully with this. But isn't that pretty? So this one here. And then, like I said, I'm going to match up to this color here. And then what I'm doing with the 2 other 50-gram balls, so I'm going to make 2 projects with 100-gram skeins, or 100 grams total, is I'm just making a real basic hat out of it. You can see here, but see, now these are the 2 colors coming together. Aren't they pretty? So this is the Venice of the Cotswolds, and this is the Stow on the Wold. So how they come together are marrying together really, really pretty. I'm just making just a basic old slouchy beanie. So it's going to match and go along with that. And this is also knit. I don't do good with knit. I don't do good with knit. When it comes to this part, I'm fine. You just knit, 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 knit along. And I'm actually in the decreases now. So it's actually coming along nice. It's just going to be a large slouchy. And then these are my 2 skeins. So I decided to decrease because it was just, I thought it was going to get really slouchy. And then if I have anything that's left after this, then I'll just add it to the scarf and make the scarf, those areas just a little bit longer. So that's all what I'm working on right now. Doing 2 knitting projects and a crochet project and an embroidery project on the pink thing. I'm busy. And then I'm also doing all the granny squares. So that's what I've been doing. What are y'all doing? Comment below and tell me what projects you're doing. Or you can go ahead and head over to our Facebook page, which is Kimberly at Knit for Brains, and then send some pictures over there. I am remiss, and I know I need to, and you guys are amazing. I need to be posting some pictures over there and just be a little bit more active. But when we come back from vacation, it's like, okay, we got to catch up and, you know, like just unpack. And then we had the COVID, and that took us out a week, and just kind of catch up for everything else. And then we're getting ready to go on another trip in about 2 weeks with our friends. We're going to meet them, and we're going to do like Mount Rushmore, Cody, Wyoming, the Black Hills, like, you know, all the Wyoming, Montana areas. So you'll be seeing stuff from there as well. So I'm trying to get these things finished before we go. But the Brit is going to be out of town for the next like 5 days, which I miss him terribly when he goes. Terribly, I miss him. But I have 5 days where I can just sit and veg and crochet. And my mom's like, can I come over? I'm like, sure, bring your yarn, because that's what we're going to be doing. My friend Debbie, she's like, can I come over? I'm like, yeah, bring your yarn. I'm not going to be much of a talker. I'm just going to be sitting there crocheting. Got a lot of projects to get through, people. But that's what we're going to be doing. And I'll bring me more granny squares, more crochet, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And there's going to be some mystery boxes that are going to be arriving. Sorry, Britt, you know, but when LionBrand does their mystery boxes, I can't help it. I can't help it. One more thing I want to tell you guys about before we leave. One more thing. About a week ago, in my last video, I told you about how I did a brutal destashing, that there's a yarn store here in town that was doing an unstashing, like destash your stash in the month of August. And because they got such a huge response, they actually shifted it. So now it's like all the month of August and like half the month of September. I ended up taking down about 250 skeins of yarn. Don't hate me. Don't go, you're a hoarder. I got rid of it. Whatever I don't get rid of, they're giving it off to charity. So someone's going to be able to use it. So it's going to good homes. But the bonus is whatever they sell, I would put it in packages and bags. And I sold about 42 of my books. But whatever they sell, I get half. So if they sell something for like $10 for a bag of yarn, I get $5. They keep $5. That's fine. And that $5 goes as a credit towards the store that I can go back and use later. The Brit was like, wait a minute, but you're getting rid of yarn, but you're getting more yarn? I'm like, I'm getting rid of like 250 skeins of yarn, and I'll probably end up getting like 10. So it's a good trade. But it's nice yarn. You know, it's the boutique-y stuff that you can't really afford. You know, you buy one skein of it, you make little cowls for yourself. It's that kind of stuff. but I'm okay with it. And I'm also supporting, and then whatever I don't use or whenever they don't sell goes off to a charity. And then I think that's a great deal. So because I had COVID on the brain and I totally spaced and forgot to take pictures, I went down there with my girlfriend this past week and I took pictures. So take a look at some of the things that I've left behind. All the big boxes, I took pictures. That's my yarn in those bags. I couldn't find the books anywhere, so she had them stashed somewhere else. That's fine. But I found all those yarns, all these here. That is what I'm going to be selling. So when I finally get my tally and I know how much money I've got to spend, maybe I'll take you guys down. We'll do a little field trip down at Needlecraft Cottage. All right, so that's all I've got for you right now. So much more coming through. You know, I always do. We're here every single week, at least once or twice. More granny squares, things like that. So go ahead and like this video. It helps us, it bumps us up, and then more people see the videos and then more people join, and we love that. We love having more friends here. So if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that, and then share us with a friend. We love that. We have fun here. We don't take ourselves seriously. I don't take myself seriously. But we love to have more people around. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.